In this video, you're going to learn how to create a professionally designed email newsletter to send out to your list so you can start building strong relationships and drive revenue for your business. And be sure to stay till the end of the video for a free resource to help you choose great content for your newsletter. If you're ready to build your business, be sure to subscribe to our channel by clicking the button below, the subscribe button. Go ahead and hit the thumbs up to let us know you like this video, and hit the bell to get notified every time we post a new video, which is every Thursday. Hi, this is Jeanne Willson from Six Figure Business Coaching, and we've been helping small business owners use email marketing to grow their revenue for over 10 years. So today we're going to use two free softwares to create a professional looking email newsletter for your business. And we're going to use Canva for imagery, and we're also going to use MailChimp as our email software. So here's what you're going to want to have for this tutorial. Go ahead and create a free canva.com account, create a free MailChimp account, and have those both open now. You can have your logo ready, your logo file. You can have your brand colors, and you can have the hex numbers ready. That would be great, and I'll show you where you can put those in. You're going to want the articles you want to use for the newsletter. You'll want the text and the images. You want links to your social media accounts, and you'll want a link to your website. So if you don't have those handy, you can go ahead and pause this video and go grab those, and then go ahead and start the video again. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to go on and head on over to MailChimp. So here, I just started a new MailChimp account, so that's why it says it's not quite finished setting up. So I'm going to click on campaigns, and these are going to be the different emails that you create. And I was playing around with this a little bit. So, but we're going to go ahead and click up here, create campaign. So now it says, well, what kind of campaign do you want to create? And they've got lots of different options here. So what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to create an email campaign, and we got to give it a name. So if this is going to be a monthly newsletter, which we're going to just assume that it is, you might want to put the month and then just put the newsletter. So if it's January, put January's newsletter. But for our purposes, I'm just going to put, I'll just put this month's newsletter and begin. Now keep in mind, you don't actually have to do the newsletters in the month that you're going to send it out. You can do newsletters in advance and schedule them to go out, which we highly recommend, because then it takes the onus off of you having to kind of scramble when you're really, really busy to get that newsletter out and fast. Because sometimes you're, like I said, you're really, really busy and you don't have time to do it. There may be other months where you're not quite as busy, and you can get maybe 2 newsletters done, and then you don't have to worry about it for the next month. So this is what you're going to see. So you can see up here, this is our name, this month's newsletter. And this is the to, who are we sending it to? So you just kind of follow along, and it's prompting you. So if you had individual email addresses, you would put them in here. It says you can put up to 100 in here. You can import them right here. And if I had already uploaded emails to this account, it would also be asking me, is there a list that you want to send it to? But because I have not uploaded a list, it's not pulling that information up. So just to let you know that. And you could find that information up here at the top where it says audience. That's where you would upload your audience. This is from, so you're going to want to add in the from. You're going to want to either put here, you could either put your name or your name and your business, depending on how you want that to come in. There's a couple different schools of thought. It depends, really kind of depends on what kind of business you have. Kirsten and I tend to put Jeanne and Kirsten because it's a little less formal. We like to think of the people on our email address list as friends and people that we can, chat with. Some people like to be more formal and they want to send it out from their business because there may be different people sending it out, or they might be a bigger business. Or some people may just put their full name, Susie Smith, or, you know, Susie from, and then the company. So, you know, that's really up to you how you want to handle that. And then you'd put your email address here. And I would highly recommend that you put your business email address here. And I'm hoping that you do have a business address and not a Gmail address, because you want to have it at yourbusinesswebsite.com. I think it gives your business a little more credibility by doing that, which is really, really important when people are thinking about doing business with you. So try not to use a Gmail or a Hotmail or something when you're sending out your business newsletter. So just something to think about. Then you're going to add a subject line. Now you may not want to do the subject line right here and now, because subject lines are kind of hard. And I say that because that's one of the most important elements of your email, because you're going to want to make it something compelling. Because when it shows up in somebody's inbox, what they see or what they read in the subject line oftentimes determines whether they're going to open it or not. So it needs to be something exciting. It might be something like, you know, breaking news is going to get a better open rate than something that says an interesting story. Or, you know, you may want to include emojis in there. Those are something that I think MailChimp just started allowing that. But that might stand out when it shows up in an inbox, because not everybody uses those. You can also use what's called a merge tag to put people's first names in the subject. So it might say, Susie, you know, have you seen this breaking news? So it feels really personal when it arrives in Susie's inbox. And so you can put something here that you think you might want to have as a subject line, and then you can change this before you send it out. And I highly advise you to, and I'll show you how to do this, is you can send yourself the newsletter before, like a preview of it, before you actually send it out to anyone. So you can kind of see what it looks like when it arrives in your inbox. Because sometimes I've written a subject line and I've sent it to myself, and then I think, no, I don't like how that sounds. I don't like how that looks, or I can make that better. So that's something that's also what I would call like best practices that we do. So the next part is the content. So we're going to go, this is the fun part. So we're going to go ahead and design our email. So if we click on design email, it comes to a section called select a template. And these are some things that are already set up. And you can see some of them are available when you put your cursor over them, and some of them say upgrade to use. So those are for the paid program. And most of these, I think except for the first couple, are all upgrade. They do also have some, what they call some themes. So these are already set up with colors and images. And you can always click on this little eyedropper icon to have a look at it and see what it looks like, to say, I like how that looks, or not so much. So feel free to kind of poke around there. These are saved templates. So if you create your own layout and you want to use that same layout month after month, you can save it and give it a name. Campaigns, if you had something to save, and then if you wanted to code your own. We're going to make this easy. We're going to go to layouts, and we're going to go over here to one column full width is the one that I like to use. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that. So what you can see on the left-hand side is the email. On the right-hand side are all the different elements that you can slide on over to your email to make it, to customize it. So here's the top of it for right now. It says view this in your browser. Here's your here's a logo you could put in here. Here's some text. And then on the right-hand side, you can see when you click in here, and you always click on this little pencil here to edit it, it shows up over here on the right-hand side, and you'll see a lot of text elements that you've seen before, like bold and italicize and underline and things. So hopefully some of this won't look too confusing for you. So the first thing that I thought we would work on is an image at the top. So not just your logo, but let's put a nice header image here. So we're going to go over to Canva, And we're going to go over here to create a design. And we're going to type in here email header. And it comes up. It already has something formatted, and it's formatted at 600 pixels wide by 200 high, which is a really nice size for an email header. So we're going to go ahead and click on that. So on the right-hand side is kind of our workspace here. On the left-hand side are some things that we can use. This is so great, and what I love about Canva. It's amazing. And you can put your cursor over these and you can see the word free on a lot of them because they're absolutely free. They do have some parts and pieces. They're usually images that you have to pay for. I don't see any in here right now. And they will have a little dollar sign or it'll say $1. And that's usually what they charge you for them. So even if you picked out an image that you had to pay for, it's probably only going to be $1. We would go ahead and do Carly's Berries. So we're going to do an email newsletter for a business called Carly's Berries. Now, actually, I really quite like how this is laid out. I like the berries in the background. I like the name on the top. So, you can use this as it is. However, if you had a logo to put in here, if you picked out a background or a layout that you liked, and you had a logo, you could go over here to uploads and you could upload your logo. You could see these are some custom images that we've uploaded in the past. This leaf is part of our logo. So I could put that in the middle. Let's say that was part of Carly's logo, but now it's sitting on top of Carly's name and I don't really want it there. So if I hit position and I say backwards, it moves it one layer back. So now it's behind the name Carly's Berries, and I kind of like that. So now I'm just going to show you a few things if you wanted to change them. If you wanted to change the background image, you could click on the background and hit delete. Now it goes away, but now I can't see where the text is because the text is white. So I'm going to go up here and hit undo. So, there it is again. That's good. But if you did want to change the image, you could go over here to the left-hand side and go up to photos. And you could search through these photos. Here you can see where it says $1. You could put in, what you wanted to search for. You can see I searched for berries or berry pie. And you can put a different picture in the back. If you wanted to change the text here, the font, if you have a font that you work with on your logo that you use a lot, you can highlight it. So you could type in the fonts or you can try and find it. The ones with the crowns, there is obviously an upgraded version of Canva, a paid for version. So you could, if you wanted to pay for that, you could pay for the upgraded version. And I believe if you pay for the upgraded version, you can also upload your own fonts if they're not listed, if you have a particular font that you use for your logo. So each piece of this can be changed. You can type over this and maybe instead of for fresh and organic finds, I just want to put fresh and organic finds. So we're going to come back to Canva and do a few other things. So don't worry about that, anything there just yet. This is a really nice feature though. If we're done with this and we're happy with it, we want to make sure that we give it a name. So we're going to call it Carly's Berries Header for email. And then we're going to download it. And when you click on this, it gives you a bunch of different ways you can download it. And sometimes it will download it straight to certain places. And one of them is MailChimp. I love that. So if I click on MailChimp, it's going to say, do you want to save your design to your files in MailChimp? And we're going to say, yes, please. And that's exactly what it's going to do. So be sure to let me know in the comments how you're feeling so far. Are you excited to start using Canva and MailChimp together? Maybe you already use Canva and MailChimp, but maybe you're thinking of some new ways to put together some designs and some things to include in your email newsletter. So be sure to let me know in the comments below. Your design has been saved. So now we're going to go over to MailChimp. And we're going to say this is where we want to put it. So when I put my cursor here to make an edit in this section, which right now it just says logo, it brings this information up. So we're going to want to replace this picture. It keeps calling it a logo, but this is just a picture. So if we click replace, it's going to go and show me all the pictures that I have in the picture library. And this is the one that we just created. So I'm going to check that one and go ahead and hit insert. And there it is. See, isn't that fabulous? So it's a really nice size. 600 is a really good width for email imagery. You don't want it any bigger than that because on some screens it'll be crazy big. So we like to have that. So let's see. So maybe the top of your email, we're going to change to, and you can do this as well. You can put all your text and information in a document so that all you have to do is copy and paste. So again, our editing is all happening over here on the right. I'll paste that in there. And then up here, I'm gonna write something like, hello from Carly. Oops. And then save and close. Okay, so now I have a top little introduction that says, you know, Carly's Berries has our logo, has this beautiful image of a berry. Now we've got a little personalized section of it. So after that, I'm gonna put, let's see, why don't we put today's feature? So Carly's got some kind of berry that she's featuring today in her newsletter. So the first thing we wanna do is we're gonna have an image and we're gonna have some text. So we're gonna go over here. These are all parts and pieces that are already formatted. So I'm gonna grab this image and caption and drag it over here and let go and drop it. So now you can see it's put a whole block in here and it has an image and it has space for text. So let's see. So now let's go back into Canva and create the image. So our email header is done, and since we've given it a name, it's got a name, and you can see over here it says all changes saved. So then we know this has been saved just as it is. So now I'm gonna go back to home, and now I'm not quite sure what size I want to make this. So I just like to use, sometimes I'll just use like a Facebook post size. And I'll show you how we can resize some of the pictures for that if we need to. So let's see. So I want a picture of a berry in the background. So let's go to photos, and you know, I've got some berries there, but let's see if I search for berries. I could pick out any of these free berry images. Now this one in the basket is $1. That one's free. This one's $1. So I could decide, you know, how I wanted that to happen. But I think I'm going to pick this one. So when I click on it, it automatically shows up on the right-hand side. But you can see it's not quite the same size as the square, as the background. So I'm going to grab the corner and drag it up and drag the whole thing over. So it's going to be, it's not quite the same shape. So I'm going to end up cutting off a little bit, but I'm okay with that. So I think that's pretty good. So that looks nice. But you know what? I'd like to give it a border, because when you put an image with a white background on a white template, it's kind of gets lost. So I'm going to give it a little bit of a border. So if I go over to elements, and right here it's under recently used, but you can always go through and there's loads and loads of, you can click see all, there's all different kinds of shapes, and some are filled and some aren't. So, you know, by all means, you know, go through this and have fun with it. There's lots and lots of options in here. So I'm going to click on there. And then I think I'm going to make this a little bit darker, because we've got a lot of dark colors. We got a lot of dark colors in our logo. I might even make this a logo color. So right up here is the color of the frame. So I'm actually going to go over here, and you can see this is the hex color I was talking about. So I've actually put my colors up here in my document, and I think I'm going to make them this color. I'm going to copy that, and I'm going to put that down here. So I know that's one of my logo colors. So now my frame, And if I just want to make the side wider, just pull that side piece right there. So now I got a nice frame on. I think that looks kind of nice. So now I got a nice frame on there that is the same color as my logo. So I'm liking that. So now I think, this is going to be today's featured item. So maybe I'll put some text over it and let people know. So let's add a heading. So if I go over here, I don't know if you caught that, I did it really quick. I clicked on text, and you can click add a heading, subheading, or body text. So those are already formatted to a certain size and a certain type of text. So you can add those, and then you can go up here and change the type of font or the size or the color or bold and all those things. Or you can pick out some that they've already done and kind of formatted for you, which is kind of fun. So, but I'm good with this plain one right here. So I'm gonna double click on it to select the whole thing. And then I'm gonna put today's feature. Well, now nobody's gonna be able to see that, that's too black. So I'm gonna highlight the whole thing. I'm gonna go up here and I'm gonna change the color to white. So that's better, right? I think that you can see that better. It's awful small because I know they're gonna get this in their email. So I'm gonna highlight the whole thing and make it bigger. Let's see, let's make it 42. You know what, I think I could make it even bigger than that. 56, I like that. And then I'll just bring it up a little bit. Okay, so I think that's pretty good. And again, so many different options. Just be sure that you don't get too carried away. You still want it to be something that looks cohesive with your brand. So I'm gonna go ahead and download this. I'm gonna download it as a PNG. PNG is a nice file type. So I've already set up a folder for this. This one's called Today's Feature, Use This. So I'm gonna save it. Okay, then I'm gonna hop on back over to MailChimp. And I'm gonna click on, I can either click browse here or browse over here. They do the same thing. So I'm gonna click on browse. And this one that says today's feature is actually one that I had uploaded earlier. But so forget that that's in there, but I'm gonna click upload and I'm gonna go to today's feature, use this, and open. So it's uploading the document from my desktop. And then I'm gonna click on it to select it and hit insert. All right, so that looks pretty good. Oh, that's pretty. Now, something that's really important is if I look over here, it gives me the size of this picture. It's 940 by 788. That's too big. If you remember, we only want it to be no bigger than 600. So we're gonna hit edit. And we're gonna go over here and the dimensions are checked so they're locked, which means all I have to do is change one element and it changes the other to the right proportion. And then I'm gonna hit save. There we go. Now it doesn't look very different on screen, but if this arrived in somebody's email who had a very big screen, this would have shown up very, very wide versus the header, which would have been 600, this would have been 900. So it would have looked a little funky, a little distorted. And then let's see, we're gonna go ahead and change. Okay, so here's the caption. I'm gonna go over here and I've already got the text for the caption for that here. I'm gonna copy that. Insert that here. And then we go save and close. And then if you wanted to preview it, see what it looks like, you can hit preview. So here's what it looks like so far. Not too bad. If you wanted to change anything, if you wanted to put today's featured berries underneath it as a header, or you wanted to center this, you could do that. But I think we're doing okay so far. Actually, I think we did have a header on that one. There it is. Today's featured berries are a mixed bag. So I'm gonna copy that. I'm gonna click back here so I can get this. I'll paste it. Then I'm going to highlight it. And let's see if we can make it bigger. And if we wanted to make it, we can hit more colors. All right, well, we could select a color that we thought was pretty close. Maybe that one. And then maybe we want to make the text, oops, text here, centered. And then once you're happy with that, you hit save and close. Okay, now that's saved. So we're gonna do just one more section. We're gonna go through this just one more time. We're gonna do an image and caption. We're gonna drag it over here. Okay, but we don't have an image yet. We're gonna go back over to Canva. Now we already have this one here and it says all changes saved, which is great. And we wanna create another one that's the same size and kind of the same layout. So we can go over here and go File, Make a Copy. And if you don't do that and you just edit the one you have, you'll lose your original, which is kind of a bummer. Okay, so the first thing I'm gonna do up here is I'm gonna rename this. So this section is gonna be today's recipe. So I'm gonna change this to today's recipe. And you see, when I click on this, you can see it puts the little circles and the lines around the outside. What I don't know is that the frame or is that the picture? So I can either delete it. Oh, now I know it's the frame. So I can go up here and go undo. And I can select it and just grab the frame. Because I want the frame, but I want to change the picture. So I'm going to move the frame and click on the picture and delete that. And now I need to get another picture because I want to get a picture of something. Oh, I was going to do a pie. That's right. So I want to do a pie because that's going to be our recipe, is going to be a pie. And here again, there were some free images and then some that cost money. So let's say we wanted to do, let's say that was today's recipe. It was going to be for this pie. So again, I might have to resize it. So now I need to go and select the frame and I need to reframe it up here like that. It's pretty good. I might move that a little bit up so you can see it better. We've got, I just want to make sure I've renamed it, all changes saved. So now I'm going to download it. Yeah, this one's today's recipe. Use this. Okay, save that. And we're going to head on over to back to MailChimp. This is our email. And again, you can click here on browse or here on browse to change the image. And we're going to upload a new image. Today's recipe, use this. There we go. Check it, insert it. There it is. And again, it's the wrong size. So we're going to hit edit. We're going to change the size, 600. We're going to save it. It's changed. So we're going to hit save and close. Just so we know we have that saved. Okay, then we're going to put a little caption in there. Let's go back. We've already put the text here. Call it strawberry pie. Click on that section. Let's put in our strawberry pie. We're going to center that. Oops. I'm going to make it, we made the other one. It's 24. Yeah, that looks about the same size. Now what I put in here was, this is one of my grandmother's special recipes. Visit our website by clicking on the button below. So one of the things we haven't done yet is add a button, and we can. So if we hit save and close, that finishes that section. And you can see over here, here's a button. So we're gonna drag that button over here, and it automatically puts a buy now button, but that's okay, we can change that. So here's the button text, get grandma's, oops, recipe. And then we're gonna put, we're gonna link this to a web address. Let's say it was HTTPS, what was it, carlysberries.com/strawberry pie. Now, the one thing I will tell you is I do want you to click on advanced options and make sure this is checked off so it opens it in a new window. Then we're gonna go, actually, and then if we go to style, because it's blue, and I don't want it blue because that's not their color, we can go here to background. And again, here's an opportunity to put our hex color in. So let's go back to our document. And we'll use our blue purple again. And put that in our hex color. And we've got get grandma's recipe. And you can, again, you can play around with some of these things like rounded corners. You know, you can make it more rounded, make it look more like a button, and then save and close. And then if you go up here to preview mode, you can see, here's your stuff, here's your feature, and you would want to check all of your links in your newsletter. You'd want to check all your buttons. You could put your, we could go back here because it automatically puts your social media links in here, which is great. So we'd click on the edit, and you could put the actual, it just has twitter.com, and then you would put your username after that, and Facebook and your website, and you could add other services if you had them. You know, Reddit, Flickr, House, email, all that kind of good stuff. And you could add a section at the bottom that talked about your company. So lots and lots of good things. Now, if you wanted to, you might want to go back here. Let's see, let's save and close that. There's also here, there's a little divider here. You might want to drag that and put that in between. It's just a nice save and close. It's just a nice little tiny gray line, just separates it a little bit. So, you know, as you can see, there's really just an infinite amount of different ways to pull this together. So, but, you know, there's a little bit of back and forth. There's a learning curve, of course, but these are just some really simple ways to get a little creative in MailChimp. Some of the things that they have already set up to create your header, to create some of your imagery, and then use the template information in MailChimp to pull it all together. So at the end, you save it and close it. And here it is. And again, you can go back and add your subject line. Now, if you wanted to send it to yourself, you just click here and hit send a test email. And you would put your email address in here to send a test to. And then you would include instructions if you were sending this to someone else, if you're doing this for a client. And then you just hit send test, and it'll send a test email to yourself. And that, like I said, that's always a good idea because you really want to see how that subject line shows up for you. And you want to make sure that it looks good, that it feels good, that it's something that you would open yourself. So tell me in the comments below, do you already use MailChimp for your email marketing? And if you do, tell me what you think about it. I think it's a great option, especially if you have less than 2,000 subscribers. It's a free option. You know, there's really no reason not to be using it, not to be sending out to your email subscribers. Be sure to look in the comments below for the Mastering Email Marketing to Triple Your Income in 12 Months. It's a free guide for you to help you master your email marketing so you can use all the tools and tips that you learned today. And don't forget that we also have another YouTube video that I absolutely want you to watch, and it is how to build your email list from 0 to 1,000. Because once you get this email newsletter together, you're going to need to send it out to someone. So that's going to be a fantastic resource for you to have. The list that you need to upload to send all these beautiful emails that you're creating to. If you found this video, this information helpful, please subscribe to our channel. Be sure to share it with your friends. Give us a thumbs up. Give us a comment. Let us know what you liked, and let us know that if you want us to make more videos like this. We so appreciate you being here today, and we're grateful to be part of your entrepreneurial journey. We really look forward to seeing you in our next video, but until then, dream big.